Man, Furality was so cool this year. Got to meet and interview so many cool people. Speaking of which, I wonder how much recorded footage I got. Two hours? 92 people? What the fuck? Hey guys, I just want to start off this video with a few words for myself. When I first started playing VR chat more seriously last year, Furality Umbra was just around the corner. And I had this thought in my head of like, why would I go and pay $25 to go to a furry convention when I can just see furries at Furry Hideout or something? And I decided to not attend. But as time went on, I got deeper into this game, invested more time in the communities and friendships that I've made here, and I met a lot of special people and became more entwined with certain communities. I ended up having a lot of awesome experiences and meeting kind of people I'd never have the opportunity to otherwise. One of those people I'd like to thank personally is my sponsor for Furality this year, Shrimpy. Without his offer, I would not have been able to attend and meet all the wonderful and interesting people from Furality Somna. And for that, I want to personally thank you, Shrimpy. You're a very good friend, and I hope to make more awesome memories with you on VR chat in the future. So with that out of the way, I would like to welcome you to the Kreachur Feature podcast, where I find random people and ask them questions to get to know them better. And with that, let's get to the first question. How long have you played VR chat for?
Probably like 3 or 4 years.
Since 2022.
So far, I've been playing for about 2.5 years.
Come July, this will be 7 years.
Roughly, maybe only a couple of months, I'd give or take.
How long have I played VR chat? Going on a couple of years now, probably 3, 4.
I played since 2017 or so. When I joined in, the Ugandan Knuckles meme had just become a thing.
I think it's been about 5 years now. It's certainly been an experience.
Almost 2 years now, I want to say. Maybe 3.
Well, that's very easy to answer. I started playing VR chat at Furality Silva, so it's been 2 years now.
Since 2018, on and off. I took a couple year break, but pretty actively.
Oh, VR chat? Dude. Since 2019, early Uganda Knuckles 2019 phase. So, quite a while.
I started VR chat in 2022.
I started the beginning of the pandemic, so in 2021.
VR chat specifically a couple years now, but I've been doing 3D chat software like this for 15 years.
You want exact hours or just at a time frame of since I've been on the actual game? Well, I guess if we're going with general, for about 3 years and 4 months.
Ooh, I started playing VR chat in 2020 during the pandemic because a friend of mine was like, here, I have an extra Quest headset. You can have it so that we can play VR chat together and we can actually, hang out during a time where we can't hang out in person. And that was the rabbit hole that started it all.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, right?
5 years now?
I was say 2022 was only 3 years ago, so I feel like it was the second time I got into it was somewhere around there. But originally, I had the original Vive when VR chat kind of came to life, so quite a while.
I started Christmas, after Christmas 2019. So
there you go.
Probably closer to 5 years now, 5 and some change.
Yeah.
I've been in VR chat about 5 years or so. I didn't get into it for another 2 years after I made an account. But I started making friends in real life spaces at cons and stuff, and I wanted to start interacting with them more often than I could interacting with them on Discord or so forth, and in a real space where we can actually have body language and communicate with each other one-on-one and hang out more than just hi, how was your day, and chit-chat in Discord. And you can actually do things in here. So yeah, about 5 years, and the friends that I've made have gotten me more into it.
Why did you keep playing VR chat?
To be my fangs.
It was a more or less an escape, something fun to explore and new.
I really didn't know what I was getting into, and I just wanted to vibe with people because I'm not really good with making friends.
There's always something to do. I mean, the community's constantly growing, and always good to make new friends.
I don't know. I really like creating stuff now. Like, I love creating outfits and stuff like that.
I guess it's just the constant discoverability of every place. Like there's always new stuff to explore and discover.
There was friendly people on my first couple days. I met someone who like stuck around for quite a while. It just felt comforting, I guess, and I lived alone at the time and there wasn't really anyone to talk to.
Well, that was because I made a lot of friends. I met a lot of new people that are very dear to me, and I even met my fiance on here. It's a fun question to ask because I actually just got back after a hiatus, right in time for Furality.
Honestly, just the creativity and like all the bright colors and all that stuff. It gives a lot of serotonin. And all like the creativity behind it. Love seeing it.
So I originally got in VR chat to get into a few communities I wanted to like be in and like make friends in. Eventually I started making more friends, and those friends led to more communities I wanted to be in, and those communities eventually led to more friends, etc., until where I am now. This is technically my first Furality. I didn't start doing VR chat until last year before Furality, and then didn't even know what it was. But it's been really nice here.
Mine was the creativity of being able to make shit. I found that to be fun as well.
I knew about VR chat since like 2016, and it got real popular when the Ugandan Knuckles stuff. So I've always wanted to play it since like back then. And then I got a PC that I actually could run VR, and I was all like, "Fuck! I get to actually play it now." And ever since I picked it up, I've been addicted to it.
I started middle of the pandemic, and you know, it's kind of like the population was like the highest it had ever been at the time, at least as far as I was aware. I ended up meeting a group, and me and a friend of mine, we kind of rolled with this group for a while, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of funny because it was just like rolling from group to group to group, and it was like that's kind of what stuck in, you know. And eventually I found the furry community. I found somebody, you know, I found a very good friend of mine, and I kind of stuck. That's kind of where I've been since.
For me, it's definitely the community and the ability to just meet anybody from anywhere in the world and with like different cultures and different backgrounds. And it's just really fun and cool to meet so many different people.
And for me, it's very similar than hers. I just only got back to VR chat a lot more because of the friends, and specifically because the community is like getting like more and more around, so it has to be like really nice to get back around in VR chat regardless, because due to the communities.
I kept playing VR chat probably around COVID time. I continued playing the game because it was a lot harder to meet new people where I live, and as generations go by, everything's becoming online, so it was just a lot easier for me.
Yeah. I kept playing VR chat after I tried it out because at the time I was moving away from certain friend groups that were like mainly online on Discord. And I tried out VR chat, and I met like this group of people that like, you know, took me in, and we quickly formed a friend group, a really good friend group that we had like lots of fun in at the time.
So one of the main reasons I kept on VR chat was it felt like VR chat in specific was a platform where it's a game technically, but all of what's going on in the game itself is sort of like the fluff to what everyone's really here for, which is to just sort of talk to each other. So I come from a circle of friends that were kind of focused specifically on games and games alone, and like, you know, Elden Ring and all these, they're fun games, right? But they were all very task driven. VR chat is a place where like the actual core of what's going on is just meeting new people and really having authentic conversations with them. And from that, I met some of the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life this past year. It's been life-changing.
Actually, that's a really interesting question. So I initially started VR chat back in 2019 when I had just gotten my Valve Index. And I initially did not enjoy it at all. I did not enjoy the experience because I felt completely out of body even when I was in an avatar. A couple years later, I tried again because I was introduced to the Tiger Bee avatar by TokyoZilla. And it felt so right and so at home for me that I then spent a lot more time in VR. Eventually I found my current avatar that I like the most, and that's what I've stuck with this whole time. It was really just it was needing to find something that fit. And that can be difficult for some people because not everyone has, you know, the money to get an avatar, or they can only use public ones, or this, that, or the other thing. And so I think that for me personally, finding something that fit was what's stuck me around so long.
Well, the atmosphere is really nice, and socially it's very fascinating to explore in terms of, like, I don't know, the social norms are kind of different. Like, I do really appreciate how, like, folks are, like, have a lot less filter, I suppose? This is the only video game where you can really, like, experience, like, hugging a friend when they need comfort. It's really nice to be able to hug a friend, like, from across the planet, I suppose. And, you know, be able to hang out on the same couch and, you know, head pats. It was quite a shock when I first played, because, like, I wasn't, like, adjusted to it, but, like, when I received it for the first time, I was hooked. There was no going back after that.
Why did I keep deciding to play? Well, I mean, it started as just a curiosity during the pandemic, as it was for many people, but the community of people I felt with, that I got into with, sort of it's associated with certain special interests, shall we say, really made me feel like I was connected with people who understood the kind of things that made me happy and feel good, along with other communities like I've been involved with for game shows, and we did a couple of those here at Furality, and yeah, it's that kind of thing where you can bring worlds and features that you never thought were possible in real life or could never experience, and make them feel more real than reality it could ever be, in a way. I mean, just look at this beautiful stuff behind me. Also, how and where places can I actually be behind a game show podium and be like I'm Bob Barker or something like that? Well, I mean, I guess I could go down to California and walk in the studio, but I think they kicked me out for that. So yeah.
That's a great question. Okay, so when I first got into VR chat, it was a lot like every other person, where it was a height of COVID, so I couldn't go out, couldn't do anything, and you know, what were they called? They're the Quest now, but back then when it was a Rift S, they were cheap, so I picked one up. I got into VR, and initially it was like, you know, this really daunting experience because I'm not a very social person, so you know, it was really nerve-wracking. But as you know, time went on, things got easier, made more friends, and the thing that kept bringing me back was the different worlds that people make. Even now, I don't really like. I don't hang out as much. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really hang out as much. But when I see people posting worlds and different like art projects and whatnot, that like games, adventure worlds and stuff like that, that's what keeps drawing me in. Because at the end of the day, somebody made this stuff, and somebody made this stuff to be seen, and I want to be the one to see it, even if it's just like a tiny world or whatnot. I want to see whatever someone had made. So that's why I keep coming back.
I mean, I started like. My VR chat experience is, like, I think pretty typical. Like, during COVID, I got into VR chat, kind of fell off of it after COVID just because of the isolation. But recently, I came back into VR chat mainly, like, the start of this year of 2025 in January. Mainly due to the fact that I had a very good PC, I got a MetaQuest 3S and stuff. And the main reason why I keep coming back to VR chat is mainly the people here. The main thing about this game that I feel like
for example, has maybe a perception problem. But the thing is, like, this game is a social platform where you make connections, you make friends, you share maybe similar interests, you maybe will find a partner, you will maybe find a friendship that will last a lifetime. And that's the thing about this game. I think it harnesses a lot of like social human interaction and connection is the main reason I'd say I would come back. Like, socialization is probably the main thing that draws me to this game, mainly due to the fact like it's easy, convenient, and you're also safe to like from like the real world, for example. Because like, you know how like people like you have to commute, if like people live far away, you have to constantly commute to, like, you know, hang out, go to a bar, do stuff that maybe costs money. Whereas in this game, you pop on a headset, you sit down, you can talk, you can watch videos, you can do all sorts of things. And none of that, you can make friends that you can bring outside of this game that you'll maybe meet IRL or maybe play a different game that's not VR chat. That's the main thing about this game. It's a game where connections can be made. And it's a very beautiful thing.
Do you have a favorite world? And why'd you pick it?
Okay, my favorite world is Moonlight Wanderings.
It's gotta be Afterglow, because I just really loved like the cyberpunk aesthetic, and it's very comfy despite the dystopian future type vibes.
That's actually a good question. Oof, I spent a lot of time in the home world, but that's just because I'm lazy.
So currently I don't have a favorite VR chat world. Mostly the worlds I go to and such are like with friends or like game worlds where I get to do things and stuff. I don't really have like any specific one that I prefer right now.
To be honest, the new Furality, like Furality Somna, it's nice. It's kind of even fitting my color scheme, like around like stars and such, because most of my stuff is like an aurora light, so it's kind of like this is my type of stuff. So yeah.
That's a tough question. My favorite VR chat world is a world called Secret Sky Stadium by The Sly Thief. It made me fall in love with the audio visualizers and just how everything was reacting, and made me feel like I was at a festival again.
Probably my homeworld. I think it's called like Vintage House or something. I don't know. Or no, wait. The place to eat cereal. Never mind. Scratch that. Place to eat cereal. And I love it because it's very cozy and the atmosphere is amazing.
Ooh, tough question. I think there are my old favorites, but I'd say a good contender would be I think it's called Green Valley, something like that. Same creator as Golden Glade.
Well, if I were to have a favorite world, honestly, there are too many to count, but if I had to suggest that one Winter Dream world, even if it's a chill world, I've always loved the Christmas season, and it even has a Rubik's Cube since I'm a passive cuber on the side. It's nice to continue doing all the little algorithms while in VR.
Honestly, I think the homeworld I've been using for the last couple months is, let me give a check. Odd Haven Radio has become one of my favorites. Very cozy little home with live radio. If I don't want to look up music on YouTube that I've listened to 100 times.
Ooh, I've got a lot. I would have to say my favorite is currently the Elven Castle. It's a nice little chill-out world. Been up for a few years and it's really nice. By the creator of _Asylum.
Favorite VR chat world? I don't really have a favorite. I kind of just go wherever people are. If I had to pick one, it would probably have to be one of the newer worlds that Furality released that's like open to the public. Furry Casita. I might be saying that word wrong. I think it's really homey there, and it makes my girlfriend emotional when I take her there.
Alright, so my favorite VR chat world is this nice little place called the Moonlit Hutch, I believe, something like that. It's this lovely little like treetop house in the night, and you can like see there's a bunch of little areas that you can hang out in. There's this lovely view of like the mountainside, and it's just a really nice place to like bring your friends to just kind of hang out and chill.
My favorite VR chat world is gonna be Free Hideout because I usually chill in that world, listening to music, and maybe watch some YouTube videos. And if somebody just come in front of me and say hi, I'll wave to them. It's pretty good. I love the vibe, surrounded by people. Yeah.
I think I like the Luma, the Furality Luma world, and why is because this world was extremely beautiful because it was my first attempt for DJing when I was accepted for Luma, and I cry, to be honest, I cry a lot for this event at that time, and I think that's my best world ever, chilling on the trees, the big trees on the air and everything. So yeah, that's my favorite one.
Favorite VR chat world? Usually my favorite VR chat world would normally be, Victory Rounds. It's a really cute game, and it's one of my favorites, and I chose it because it's, I guess you can kind of say, it was made by a very amazing music artist. I used to love listening to their songs from a game called Mustache. They're also in a whole bunch of other games as well, I think it was called Max Respect. But regardless, they came into VR chat, made a world, and it's a really fun game that's based off of the game called Rounds, if you've heard of that game.
Oh.
Oh, I know mine.
I mean, yeah, I think I already know which one you're going to say. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Ball Pit?
No, actually.
No? Oh, which one is it this time? No,
Mine would have to be, I think it's called Finishing Touches, but it's where I go to draw, and it has the best brushes, and you can kind of just get really immersed in drawing, but there's multiple canvases, so you can have 8 different people drawing all at the same time. It's really great. I love it so much.
Also has the best drawing physics because it actually has paintbrush drag and everything like that. I wish it could mix, but it's still really, really good and to the point for that kind of stuff. Super nice.
It's really good. What's yours?
I don't know, because I like going anywhere. I really like the ones that with memories. So, that's why I was saying Ball Pit, because we had so many memories of either meeting people or weird conversations because of that strange world.
Yeah.
Or
really
tons
weird.
of ADHD stims, honestly. God, it's so many things been around in here. Anything that's relaxing with fun stuff. I know, I usually just gotta relax and chat with friends mainly. Movie world.
Movie world, yeah.
Over that. But,
How do you think VR chat has affected your life since you started playing?
VR chat has affected my life. I would like to say exponentially because I've met more friends on VR chat.
It has pretty much changed the course of my life. It got me into 3D modeling and the current school I'm in. So I'd say pretty strongly.
I think that I met more people that made me understand who I am, about who I can be, and express my feelings towards other people that I meet.
I haven't been playing VR chat for long, but I'm very excited to make some new friends in a virtual space, and I'm very optimistic about it. It's not necessarily a massive change, but that doesn't mean it isn't positive.
It's been a lot. I honestly didn't know jack about myself before I got on here. So it's just been a lot of exploration and figuring myself out. I was a very different person before VR chat.
Honestly, positively, in every way, shape, and form. Being social outside of VR chat's very uncomfortable. Having social anxiety and not being able to talk to everyday people in a normal fashion is pretty complicated. So being able to talk to people inside of a platform where everybody can be social without having to worry about seeing each other's faces, perfect to me.
Oh, I love VR chat. I usually play every night with my friends. It's one of the best things that I do each day. I really enjoy it. I've learned so many new skills as well, like building worlds and editing avatars and things like that. It's been awesome.
How VR chat really affected me was most likely
I don't know what to say, but most likely just helped me be able to socialize with a lot of people, and being on VR chat really like changed me a lot because now I've just been so expressive and more talking machine than I used to be.
It's kind of been a bit a mixed bag. Normally in regular VR chat, I tend to find that it feels very clicky, hard to talk to people because it feels like you gotta be part of some sort of in-group. But at Furality, this place is just, it makes talking to people so much easier. Like, you can just literally walk up to someone and go, and it would work. It would start a conversation. People here just want to talk to you. It's amazing here.
Very positively. I got into it around the time that high school ended for me. So I was shifting chapters in my life. A lot of people I knew were moving out of state, going to different colleges than I was, or just had different plans. This is a good place where I met a lot of people whom I call friends now.
I think VR chat has filled a pretty big gap in my social life ever since high school. Because I'm not in like post-secondary or anything, so it kind of like filled the void of, I don't know, like VR chat is so close to real life. It's not the same, like I prefer real life, but VR chat does a pretty good job at emulating real life, so it's definitely changed my life for the better, using it and hanging out with my friends.
It's helped me finding friends and find things I like to do. I meet a few streamers that really like to VR chat. I was more into VTubing. Then I meet like people that mix between VR chat and VTubing, and they wanted me here, so I started enjoying VR chat company. People are pretty cool, pretty crazy, come with pretty interesting ideas. I'm learning something new every day, even though I'm pretty new too.
Oh god. I know that like because a lot of my friends are like long distance, we'd meet up in VR chat, so it was like a good way for us to like kind of meet up in like a space that we can like just talk to and interact with each other in different ways. And it also gave me the opportunity to kind of spend more physical time, air quotes, with my girlfriend before we were able to move in together. I've met a lot of fun people through VR, met a lot of like really good friends, and I can't wait to make more of them as time goes on. The connections I've made in VR have meant a lot to me so far.
Oh, well, when I started playing, I didn't really know anyone, and I was very anxious at the time. I was a desktop user, so it's definitely affected my life for the better. I met a lot of cool people on this game, and a lot of good friends that I know now. When I first got on, I was so anxious, man. I would just go into the MMD worlds and like just do the whole like dancing and stuff, right? And yeah, I eventually warmed up, got a quest, and met people and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'd say it's affected me really nicely. This is a great game.
VR affecting my life. I guess it allowed me to finally connect with friends that I've been friends with online already, like from friends I've been friends with on Xbox to people I've known for a while on Discord, and we could finally technically hang out in person. That's kind of like the thing that affected me the most, is just being able to actually physically translate body language like I'm doing right now. And it's just a whole different experience. It's an extension of what already is. So that's kind of like the main thing that affected me the most.
I think personally, yes, it's really affected me in very positive ways regarding my own mental health and finding a community that supports me, because it's been a wild journey for me these past few years that I've been playing, and I wouldn't be here today without the support and love from people I've met in this game. It's helped me grow a business. I do textures. It's my whole special interest now. Everything about like making avatars and things. It's amazing. I love it. It's overall affected me greatly, and I wouldn't be the same without it.
Well, originally I started playing when I was a lot more young. I mean, I'm an adult now, but like, it was my escape. So every time, even though I moved away from my parents and I'm now like on my own with my roommates, every time I get on VR, it kind of like reminds me that this place was an escape for me. It was kind of like a home for me, you know? Because, you know, living with transphobic and homophobic parents, it kind of wears on you. So VR kind of gave me a home till I could actually make it out of mine and make it into a home where I can call home, you know? So I kind of appreciate VR chat, and I'm starting to appreciate more of the real world actually, thanks to VR chat, because like, you know, stepping away from it, but it's still nice to come back on here every once in a while.
What made you pick the avatar you're wearing today?
It's tiny, it's cute. How can you be mad at this? Look at these moves. Look at these moves. I can move like crazy. This avatar's awesome. So I'm lovely and cute. That's all you need.
So I picked my avatar that I'm wearing today. It is actually resemblance of my lidar Sona, which is like a tiger and lion combined. Also, I kind of like my Nova Beasts.
Honestly, I love the Foxy Pulse base. That's my normal Persona base. And then I honestly just texture everything out myself. And I just like being able to be creative with Substance Painter and just let my brushstroke guide me.
I found the Soundbites base a couple of years ago in a public world, and I just fell in love with it almost immediately. It felt the most me I had felt for the first time while playing VR chat. It was like, I want to say 3 years ago at this point.
I always use dragons. Dragon is my persona, and I like a dragon that's a lot more slim than a lot of the other ones. A lot of them are very muscly, and I'm not that sort of thing.
I'm an otter. I'm an otter and I like being cute.
I'm a daughter. I feel like my personality matches more with an otter.
Another one.
Friends come
The otter one. But this one was better than the other one.
The avatar I'm wearing? The avatar I'm wearing is actually a avatar that I searched for almost a year and a half, trying to find the correct model to be able to build it with. It's a puppy avatar version of my Rex.
I think the avatar goes. The first thing is that I love orcas as well as the kangaroo mix. And both kangaroo and orcas really been interested in me for a long time. So I have been. And it fits me very well with it.
Honestly, I was like super inspired by the artist that made it. And it looked so cute, and I needed to have it, honest to God. It had such a unique way about it, and I just didn't see anything like it, and I thought, hey, that looks really different, and I think I want that.
I like goofy avatars, and it's like a mix of a little gremlin and like a hairless cat. It's very unique. I haven't seen one of these, like, at all. I haven't seen a combination like it. And it has a lot of interesting aspects that comes with it that you can mess around with.
What made me pick my avatar? Nova Beasts are known to be pretty expressive, and they are pretty smooth. I've tried Vulpers and I've tried Mayus and other furry avatars, but they never really stuck with me. But then, at the same time, I used to rock a robot avatar that I created earlier. So then we get this hybrid, as in Nova Beast Robot.
So I actually made this avatar myself from scratch. I actually grinded like hell to get this outfit done before Furality. You know, I'm a 3D artist. I'm trying to network. I'm trying to get more commissions, meet more people. So wearing something that I made, you know, is like an example, a living, breathing example of what I do.
I made this guy. I made this guy in Blender. I wanted to learn Blender. I needed a reason to do it. I thought, when do I get an avatar? So I put too much time into this guy not to wear it. That's fine.
I genuinely was looking for like the doofiest dog avatar I could find to just kind of like summarize the energy.
Well, this is the V2 of the original model I bought of the Origin. I had fallen in love with the base model, and I had reached out to the creator and I had showed them my creation, and from that they had told me they took some inspiration from my work, and this is what it's become today, and I feel very appreciative, and it's really cool watching someone grow as a creator and being able to support them a second time.
I went to a bunch of avatars that I was looking through, and this is the one I settled on after like weeks of picking through them. And I've had this one for over a year now. It's just my permanent one.
I used to be a Regulus, but then when the Mayu started coming out, the Mayu looked like the Regulus, but a lot more kimono styled and also more slimmer, I guess. I don't know. It looked like the Regulus, but less exaggerated is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, so honestly, the avatar I'm wearing today is a plus size Abby. And that's part of like fat first circles. And the reason I picked it is partly because one, I'm chubby in real life myself. And two, I feel like representation matters. Like people should be able to come on, see all kind of inclusive body types, ones that match their own, and you know, they can feel welcome. Same with my hair, you know, it's might be Afro textured, dreads, wigs, and it's like people who have those in real life can feel more welcome and see it around.
I'll be very honest of like, I recently made this avatar, and I'm doing a little bit of like the whole, oh wow, check it out, look at this avatar that I'm wearing kind of situation by just kind of like sauntering around the dealer's den, since I'm wanting to stand by my booth and whatnot. But also, I have been very much so enjoying wearing this model because the frills are really expressive, and I love embodying anything very reptilian and dragon, so two birds, one stone kind of situation. Pushing my work forward, but also enjoying getting to wear it inside of this convention, so yee.
Oh, I made this avatar for a music video a couple months ago. I had some extra props with it. I have a crown, I have a cane, so I can, you know, be fancy and whatnot. But I'm a musician, and I started breaking into doing VR chat music videos, making different variants of my OC and whatnot. I put out a video called Royalty. My friend Cinna helped me shoot it. It was like 3 days, 3 hours of footage. 1% of that ends up in the video, but it's like the best 1%. So I figured I did a song about the 90s, and I was going to do a music video for that, and then I made a new outfit for the avatar, and then everybody told me to wear it to Furality. So here I am.
What do you do for work?
I work for the county where I live.
I work in a vape shop getting people off of cigarettes.
I am a bench jeweler and lead jewelry designer at a high-end jewelry establishment.
I'm currently in the Navy as to put it simply, a firefighter.
For work, I'm currently down with lab. Finished school recently, and usually I just work with my parents.
Currently unemployed, but I'm looking to get into the job in hospitality, or maybe even nursing.
Currently is just I guess it's just freelance mechanic work. It's basically just, you know, small odd jobs here and there.
Oh, I'm an IT nerd. Very cliche. IT in the morning, dance at night.
I am a 3D texture artist, sir. It's basically 3D coloring on your lovely furry models. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's all I offer.
I'm a sound engineer. I'm a musician, singer-songwriter. I perform in VR chat, but I also mix and master for various musicians and videographers.
I make avatar bases. I make stuff like the fox moth, the kigi bases, the otter, I guess. And then I have a full-time job as well. I only work 3 days a week at this other job. It's something else in real life. I use that to make money for
my bills.
This is my full-time job at the moment. Art commissions and selling my avatar base. That's all I do. I've worked in the past at an animal shelter. I did that for a while. And then I worked retail for a while now. But right now I'm focusing on college. So no in-person jobs for me. It's too much. It's too much on my plate.
I do avatar work. I made the horns you're seeing, I made the tail you see. I do little low poly guys. I work with this, and if I'm not doing that, then I make VTubers.
I currently don't have a job. I worked at a restaurant as the dish person, wanted to be a cook, but they didn't give me the chance to become a cook. Worked with my cousin in construction, was a welder, worked at like putting things together at a factory for like wiring and stuff, and I was a bagger.
I'm a professional 3D character artist. I used to work for an outsourcing company for about 4 years. Recently just kind of got laid off, but they're hoping to get a new client and hire me right back.
I used to work for very small companies just to get by until I'm being at the moment I'm just being shunned out. I recently got rejected again, but I'm not giving up.
So I don't work right now. I am disabled, but I'm in college for video game design. And I do several different things other than college. I'm also an assistant for a producer friend. I'm a Discord admin for a lot of different channels, moderator. I run Minecraft servers. I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff. Oh, and stream on Twitch too. Sorry.
I am a lab technician and studying to be an engineer right now in the mechanical and propulsion sector of things.
But what kind of lab?
3D printing lab. I do a bunch of work with 3D printers and College of Engineering and student projects and all that sort of stuff.
My side, I fix wireless chargers for commercial vehicles, so buses, tug trucks, semis, wireless chargers, they break, they need fixed. My job.
I am software engineer. I work on trains, essentially. I actually have a master's in geology, but I don't do anything with it now. I took a coding boot camp, and now I do software. It's kind of the typical journey of a furry ending up in IT or software. But it's a good work. I'm happy with the services that the company I work for provides. It doesn't help to destroy the planet. It's actually something that's useful to society.
What is your favorite song, musician, or album?
World Execute Me by Millie.
My favorite musician is probably Lil Docky.
Carpenter Brut would be a big one. Turbo Killer and all that stuff.
My favorite song? I don't exactly have one. I listen to way too much music.
My favorite song right now probably be Mount Washington by Local Natives.
My favorite song? Probably Beauty and the Beat from Justin Bieber.
Favorite song? Dang. I'm gonna go with April 14th by Aphex Twin. There are many more I could name, but that one's a good one.
I don't particularly have a favorite. You ever heard of Shirobon? Alright, well, I'll shout them out. Shirobon. Do some pretty good stuff with chiptune.
Ariana Grande, Dangerous Woman.
I don't know what my favorite song would be, but based off personality, my favorite artist is Baby No Money, because he's just on so many different side quests, and it's fun to pay attention to.
Can I pick three? I would have to say Sullivan King, Millennium, and Fox Stevenson.
My favorite song of all time has got to be Monday Morning Quarterback by Frank Sinatra. My favorite artist right now is probably going to be Big X the Plug. And then my favorite genre is classic rock.
Oh, that's a tough question. Summer by Trevor something. That's his name. It's Trevor something, by the way.
Yeah, for me right now, like of all time, I gotta say No Way Out by Euphoria featuring Christy.
In the traditional sense, I like Bach, but in something that's new age and whatever, I like Callboy. If I want to fucking have something that's like in the essence of everything, I like what is it? Wolfgang Gartner.
Oh, that's a tough question. It's a question I'm not even sure I can answer. But currently, my favorite musician is Jonathan Young, Lil V, Lulu Yam. Mostly just been listening to random playlists, whatever Spotify throws at me. So it's hard to remember.
So my favorite song is going to be Gorilla by Kreachur. I really do enjoy funk. I love heavier sounding bass. I get a lot of heat for it, but if I'm listening to a song and I can't understand what the dude's mumbling about, then it's not good. So that's something that I enjoy. But yeah, Gorilla by Kreachur.
Ooh. My favorite musician, probably, I mean, I have a lot of favorite music, but a musician I always come back to is probably Jack Stauber.
For me, I really have a lot of artists and stuff like that specifically. For me, I don't really have a favorite artist, but for what I know, there's just way too many artists that I like that listen because there's too many what I have in mind.
My favorite song, currently on my Spotify, one of my favorite songs is Endlessly by Haywire, one of my favorite artists. They do a lot of like piano stuff and like, what is the thing where you press it's like a launch pad, press it and makes a bunch of buttons, that kind of thing, or sounds. It's really nice. I like it. It's more classical, but also EDM at the same time. I really do enjoy.
I think as far as like favorite musician, the guy I always like cheer on whenever I hear him is probably Louis Zong, because he is really diverse. Usually his like music kind of falls into like the funk category, but that betrays like the wider complexity of like how diverse his songs and covers can be, and does everything from funk to jazz to easy listening to a little bit of like hard dance and stuff.
Oh goodness. Okay, I have two answers for you. My favorite musician is Patricia Taxon. She is a trans hyperpop artist who makes all sorts of crazy music that I like to call autism music. It's stuff that really stimulates my brain and makes me feel really nice. But in that genre of music is my favorite album, which is by a different artist, and the album is called Nascent by Alexander Panos. Those are the things I like listening to most. I don't want to give you too many answers, but there's also Sleep Token and other musicians that I really like. But my main two would probably have to be Alexander Panos and Patricia Taxon.
Right now, I've actually been on a kick for Blink-182. Specifically, I saw a series of TikToks where someone was breaking down the individual parts of different parts of the song, like the harmonies and melodies and things like that for the name escapes me right now, but the fade fell short, and I was just like, I never realized how much like complexity there were in the melodies, but then hearing, of course, that classic, don't waste your time on me, you're all, yeah, that stuff, like, you know, the voice inside I've just been like, I don't know, it's been vibing with me. I guess like sort of mid-2000s pop punk, that's been my jive recently.
What is your favorite meal?
Tacos. Homemade tacos.
It would either have to be like cooked salmon or cheeseburgers. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
I don't really cook meals for myself, but if I had to say, popcorn chicken.
My favorite meal is cheeseburger. A lot of pickles.
Funnily enough, it's actually what my name's based on. It's a katsudon, which is fried pork over rice.
Ooh, I know. It has to be oatmeal with apple and cinnamon. Again, it's really nice on a cold day.
My favorite meal is usually meatloaf, which is kind of funny. Just something simple, nothing too crazy.
My favorite meal, I think I'm gonna say, because I'm Canadian, and I think poutine is my favorite meal.
My favorite meal would be Alfredo noodles with grilled chicken and some broccoli in it. It's both a safe food and also just nice.
I typically say I don't hold favorites when it comes to food, but I think it's generally ramen noodles, especially the spicy ones.
Ooh, my favorite meal definitely has to be lobster tail with garlic butter, parmesan on top. Oh, best one, in my opinion.
I honestly, just a good solid bowl of potatoes, corn, and like some sort of like chicken or something. My favorite kind of meal. I don't always like treat myself to like a good bowl of mashed potatoes, but when it's Thanksgiving, it's over.
My favorite meal by far is probably steak of any cut or like temperature, or like a nice fried chicken sandwich. Very good.
Salmon.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Pumpkin
pie.
Salmon.
I love cheesecake.
Mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is so good.
Lasagna is good.
With white claws.
Sushi or sashimi?
There's like favorite meal, since like depending on my nationality, like I'm from Saudi Arabia though, so it's going to be like a shawarma, like any other like Middle Eastern meals. But if I'm saying like Western meals, it's going to be either like burger or like pizza. But I do prefer salad most of my time. Salad is like the go on meal. So yeah.
My favorite meal is gonna be I don't know how they call in China, because in China we got a lot of dishes like things made of rice or different things. But my favorite meal is gonna be spicy tofu or mapo tofu, because I love spicy food. Although I'm not very favorite if spicy food because my stomach hurts if it's too spicy. But I love spicy food like mapo tofu. Yes.
My favorite meal is, it's honestly pretty simple. I call it my snack plate. It's literally just a plate with a sliced apple, some pepperettes, and cheese and crackers. It's really simple, but it's just a really nice pick-me-up after I've done a bunch of work. I don't have to put in a bunch of effort to make it, and it has everything I need in it. So it's just, you know, a nice meal doesn't necessarily have to be fancy. It just has to make you happy, and that one does.
meal.
If I make it, grilled cheese and ham. If I'm going out to eat somewhere, sushi probably.
Oh yeah.
That would be the best.
Oh yeah.
What about you, huh?
Oh man, that's hard because like his grilled cheese is the bomb. Like you have no idea. I
cheese
tried to
and
do
ham.
the same and I can't do it. I flop every time, and it's just. Oh, you know what? If I had to pick, it would be his pumpkin bread. That's like.
Oh, okay, that's cheating.
I
Well,
love
that's-
shitting, but. But meal. If I had to choose a meal. A really bomb-ass burrito, maybe a chimichanga. That would be my ultimate sin.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
very much you.
And then after that would be sushi.
After the nice deep fried, amazing chimichanga would be a nice sushi dish.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
What is a random fun fact about yourself?
I'm Paul Scandinavian.
I'm overly obsessed with motorcycles and fish.
My hair isn't actually blue, it's just dyed blue. I'm actually brown hair. I actually have brown hair.
I technically graduated high school when I was 16.
Only by a week, though.
I was particularly enticed by Furality Somna because all of this is an aesthetic I particularly very much like.
I can rotate my hip joint 180 degrees vertical.
I was born on International Hyena Day, which co-occurs with Lesbian Visibility Week in Autism Month. So I'm like the stars align for me to be a lesbian, you know?
I'm very, very, very good at video games, and it's such a useless skill of mine. I'm very good at Halo, and I'm very good at Apex Legends, and I don't think I'll ever make money doing that, but it's fun for me.
Random fun fact. Not a whole lot of people would notice or really know, but I'm more of a country boy, and I've had a lot of people go, I've never really met a country furry.
Oh, I live on an island. Yeah, I don't know. I've also been a furry for a really long time, so there's that too. I guess it's maybe fun for me. I don't know if that's fun for other people to know, though.
Well, there's a random fun fact. No one knows. Not many people know, but I do carry shrimps everywhere with me. The name isn't just there. There's a reason.
More than anything that I'm doing right now, as much as I really, really love what I do, I really want to like be the head of a game studio and like design a couple really, really impactful and like good games. It's like a dream job of mine.
I'm really terrible at dancing, but I try to dance anytime I can. So I end up being terrible at this and being goofy at all times. One thing I like the most is dancing in the rain.
When I was a really itty bitty like little kid, really small, my mom was showing me fireflies during the summer, and my gremlin ass was like, "Ooh, snack!" I took it out of her hand and I ate it. Keep in mind, I was like 3, but it did scare the crap out of my mom.
I ate a box of expired Tic Tacs and thought I was high.
Well, that one's silly. And actually, good fun fact, I have a motorcycle license. No bike yet, I'm saving up for my first one. I want to get a Kawasaki Vulcan. It's a like sporty cruiser.
Random fun facts. It'll probably be the part where it's just sometimes I just act like either a high energy sometimes, and sometimes I just always just like act very calm, and there's sometimes just be like, "Hey, you want to go to Gyro World?" Because how much of a motorhead and race car enthusiast I am. A random fun fact, I drink nothing but chocolate milk. I have for the past 21 years. I do not like water, I do not like juice, I do not like soda. I'm very quirky when it comes to that. I only drink chocolate milk. It's true though, I very rarely drink waters and juices unless I absolutely have to. The doctors have told me it's fine as long as I don't add too much chocolate. It's okay.
What do you do to relax after a busy day?
Honestly, I just chill in either a VR chill world or I go paddleboarding.
Usually I just hang out with my friends on VR chat. It's become almost like a nightly cool down thing for me.
What I usually do is I watch some movies, chill with like anime, come on VR, say hi to some friends, just chill out, hang out.
I play games most of the time, or I'm in here VR, just chilling with my friends, hanging out in some worlds and exploring. I love world hopping.
Usually after a long day, I tend to just kind of mellow out. Sometimes I might have a puff or something just to kind of chill, but usually I don't usually do too much.
I mean, going on VR is very nice, very relaxing. You can do a lot of stuff in VR. You can lay down, watch some TV, hang out with friends. It's pretty nice.
Recently, it has been picking a show to watch with a friend in VR chat
and just kind of marathon something. You know, not even watching a show. Sometimes I'll just like hang out and cuddle with somebody and just chat about the universe and whatnot.
I like to hop in VR and not go in worlds like this. We're in a club world right now, but there's a lot of chill worlds, and you can just relax, listen to chill music, hang out with cool friends. This is a bit of a different atmosphere, but it's pretty fun to do.
After a busy day, I get on VR chat. I chill with friends, get on, vibe with friends, world hop, play some VR chat games. Or just vibe on Discord with friends as well. Play some random desktop games. Most times just chilling in VR.
Exactly this. I get home, I hop in VR usually. And it's nice. There's usually friends on, have a few drinks, stare at some virtual clouds. It's good to unwind.
This and candle making. Got super into candle making recently.
Usually I hit up my buddies on Discord. We have a pretty small Discord channel we made, like a little server. We do meditation events, we do little karaoke events and stuff. It's pretty nice. Takes off the stress after work and after college and stuff. It's pretty nice.
I sketch a lot. I play a lot of video games with friends. Talking to friends, playing video games with them, or sketching just to enjoy them talking in the background, or just having them talk about their day even relaxes me because I feel like it's just listening to them.
VR chat. Or work. I work a lot.
For me, it's either VR chat or I'm either working on texturing or attempting to try to make music, which doesn't go so well. I kind of quit after like 5 minutes of doing that, but I try.
I don't know, besides just burnout and crash out, I guess just I play a lot of video games. Like before I started playing a lot of VR chat, I'm kind of older and I've been playing games since Atari days. We're talking Jaguar. So I just play a lot of video games, Final Fantasy, Sims, just random things like that.
So as a freelancer, most of my work is just what most people find relaxing. Like, I make all sorts of different art. So like what I do to relax personally is that I like making and working on really technical avatars. So like this guy has like 5 billion constraints on him. But I find that really relaxing. I like mathematical, logical stuff,
Drink a lot. No, I'm just kidding. Typically, I like to sit down and listen to music. I'll listen to music, different artists that I follow, take care of, see if I can find something new that I would like to put into a piece that I'm working on. I DJ a lot, so I do it both ways. So I do it through a program called DJ Studio. The last mix I made had over 100 songs in it from me doing that. But aside from that, I normally play games and hang out with my wife. My brothers.
My favorite thing to do to relax after a long day is probably just watching movies with my girlfriend. Her and I do like a little bit of like rabbit hole falling through. She'll uncover some really fun niche thing on the internet. We'll just like take the time in our evening to kind of explore and learn about new things, and has been an awesome way to like not only expand my knowledge but also to kind of veer away from doing work exclusively, because back in the day what I would do to relax is just do more work. So it has been a great alternative to just working more, is getting to enjoy my time with my girlfriend. So yeah.
Who or what has had the biggest influence or impact on your life?
If I had to say someone, it'd have to be my partner.
Probably the Miami scene, Miami DJs. It's hard to make a name, but just like abundant community that like my local city brings.
I'd have to say it's gotta be my dad. Teach me my mechanic skills, how to adapt, and just overall how to just work with problems and find unique solutions.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good question. I don't know. It's a lot of people. I guess
To narrow it down, I guess it'd be like family and some small furry friends that I've had.
Man, that's a hard question. You're asking some serious ones. Gosh, it's cringy, but it's probably my grandfather, you know? Kind of the whole reason I'm in the jewelry industry, you know? He was willing to take the time with me when nobody else would.
A lot of people, actually. There's my partner who I met through VR, all my friends, and Electra Wolf.
I'd honestly have to say, for better and for worse, an old friend that I made on VR chat, who I sadly don't talk to anymore, but they were with me through the worst of times, and then we had to go our separate ways because we didn't agree on things anymore. But, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, he's gonna hate that I'm gonna say that. Corbell, if you're listening, you had a big impact on my life because 2 years ago, I found you sleeping in a corner at Furality Somna, and you booked me on a concert, and now I'm a musician, and I get to live my dream. Thank you.
Honestly, probably my partner. She pushed me to start doing like public avatar work. She like pushed me to like actually do what I like doing, and that's kind of pushed me to be who I am. So
I reckon the biggest influence, the first furry community I joined was the Patrick's Crew, and they were a huge influence. From seeing their models, their textured models into VR chat, and then meeting them and learning from them to be able to get into that community was such a huge influence. Like, I would have never started if it wasn't for them.
That'd have to be my friend, Not Free Food. Well, he's more family than friend. He's the one that got me into streaming and being a VTuber. He's the one that got me to do that final push for college. He's really pushed me to do all the things for myself. Yeah, he's him.
Probably my closest friends, honestly. They were the ones that actually pushed me to try to do avatar work. I started a long time ago, and I kept giving up over and over and over again. And I met a group of friends that just kept saying, dude, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing and really try your hardest. And next thing you know, I came out with my first avatar, which was the Kiki about 3 years ago. I think friends are a very important factor in the things you do in your life, so.
I would have to say the streamer Spork of Love. The reason? She's the reason I started streaming in the first place. I met her in VR chat. We had a conversation. She revealed she was a Twitch streamer. I checked her out. I decided, hey, that looks easy. I'll give it a shot. Fast forward 5 years. I'm 1.3 thousand followers and still going.
That is a great question. I would say probably my friends in VR chat, only because I've moved so often in my life that it's been hard to keep friends, like physical friends, but with VR I'm actually able to meet people in long distances and maintain those relationships a lot better than trying to keep up with someone who's halfway across the country and no way to see them.
Lucy, my girlfriend, mi amor, I love her so much. She raided my Twitch, just randomly raided me, and was like, I like your art style, because I was working on a 3D commission at the time. She's like, I like your art style, I'm gonna commission you. And so then she did, and now she's like my main beta tester and is my biggest supporter, and I love her so much. I love her.
Ooh, that is a good question. I think so far my friend Ra, he's somebody I met back in 2023, basically considered to be my best friend. He's helped influence and guide a lot of the changes in my life from the past couple of years, getting rid of a lot of the bad habits I used to have and helping make me a better person.
The biggest impact actually recently was actually him. He inspired me to create again and to be able to like express myself without having the fear of being different.
That's a very broad question. Definitely all the furry friends that I've made, and there's too many to count all the ways that they have influenced me. I have a lot of good real-life furry friends. I've dated a lot of furries, and those have definitely been integral in changing me and changing how I view love and relationships and just friendships. And I've evolved a lot over the years through the people that I've met. But yeah, not really a specific answer there, but just being a furry has been so life-changing to me.
Probably a man named Henry I met at a arts festival who was doing some cool stuff with arts and robotics intertwined. And yeah, they did some he and I talked and sort of got to talking outside of the arts fest space, and we learned things, and he gave me my first laptop and sort of encouraged me to be who I am and do what I do.
I'm thinking it's gonna have to be my other half. I mean, we've been together 15 years, and when she met me, we a totally different guy. So it's one of those that her influences have brought me to kind of who I am today, and I've helped kind of we've come together and kind of helped each other. So she really has influenced me to go out in the world and try new things, and I wouldn't be the same guy I am today without her. That's for sure.
What is a memory from the past that you still think about today?
Definitely the past Furalities I went to, which are Aqua and Luma.
I guess there's a time I stood up for almost two days straight because of my evil blender activities. But I don't know if that counts. Does it?
It's gotta be the first hug and kiss I got from my fiance after meeting her for the first time in America after traveling there.
Memory from the past I still think about today is the opportunity to show that I can do something that makes my dad proud. And that was the choice of between going on a mission for the church or joining a branch of the military.
I'd say one time when I went with my brother, he had a motorcycle with a sidecar. He put me in the sidecar, like little 13-year-old me, and we just ripped ass through some dunes, bro. Just ramping it over some little dunes. Oh, I miss it. I've always wanted to recreate that.
Probably the one time I was at an anime convention, I was sleepy in my room while a room party was ending, and someone slapped me in the face because they thought I looked like their ex-boyfriend. That sometimes I think about and be like, that was a thing that actually happened.
I guess kind of like a sad one. On my birthday one year, I'm born on like Christmas Day, and my brother had like poured a bunch of hot stuff over my lap during like the family meal. I don't know, that made me sad, and I always think about it.
I would say that constantly comes back to me on a regular basis. I would say I was a very lonely child growing up. Very lonely. And I guess it's something I maybe am trying to make up for lost time, I guess.
A memory from the past I still think about today. Definitely back in early 2017 VR chat, Uganda Knuckles. It was an unforgettable moment, one of the best moments of all time in VR chat.
Alright, I'm gonna go with a bad memory because it sticks with me so often, and that's with the difficulty of getting 2 STEM degrees in 5 years. I really wish that that had panned out better for me, because having a degree in mechanical engineering and in computer science seems like it would be really, really great, but the world is bad right now, and so there's not much work in my field where I live.
I had a really bizarre dream once where I was attacked by a very crappily drawn paper version of my dad. It is the one dream from childhood I remember, and I have no idea what it means. I love my dad and he's an awesome guy, but for some reason I had this nightmare about being attacked by a paper version of my dad who was drawn poorly. He like picked me up and like spun me around his head, and it was like, that's when I woke up. I don't know why I had that dream.
Think about that time. I had a very particular dream. I was being chased around by a skinwalker that he repeatedly claimed to be Brad Pitt. And he wasn't doing anything weird. He wasn't like trying to attack me or anything, but he was just like annoying me the whole time. He was just like, I'm Brad Pitt, I'm Brad Pitt, I'm Brad Pitt. Eventually I got so fucking annoyed with the guy, I was just like, alright, that's it. I shouted out at the top of my lungs, you're going back in the soup. And I fucking domed his head with a revolver. I don't know why, I don't know what the significance of this was, but it happened. That was a dream.
I think for me, memory from the past I still think about today would be when I first started like figuring out what I was here in the virtual world. I eventually came across a thing called the Mantled Beast. And this was like way before I got into actual VR. I was like on desktop for a while. I came across this thing called the Mantled Beast, and it was like it clicked, and I still love the base to this day. It's the secondary avatar I use most of the time, especially for one of the communities I am in. It's very, very fun. They're very little silly guys, and I really like them. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was probably the first time I went to Furality. I was going through my biggest ever breakup. So it's not necessarily one that I find totally fond of, but I think the beauty of Furality definitely helped me heal a lot better and distract me from the pain that I was dealing with. So Furality is kind of always a place of healing for me.
This one time in third grade, I hid in a classroom because I didn't want to do math, and then they I hid there for like an extended period of time. So they called the police to like look around the school because they thought I went missing, but then they found me and like yeah.
That's a tough one for sure. I'm trying to think of like a childhood memory that I remember. I mean, I guess an easy one, not really childhood, this was pretty recent. Our wedding day, walking down the aisle. I think that's a good memory for me that I can recall very well, thank you. Even though it wasn't that, it was pretty recent, but it's still a good memory.
Yeah, it's specifically that specific part, because I don't really have anything in my own times for a long time or anything like specifically, but the wedding day has to be my best one so far because it has been really amazing experience.
I will say a memory that I bring up a lot is that I don't condone this. But I used to drink a lot in VR. Don't do it anymore. But the funniest memory was I was trying to be friendly. I was trying to speak to somebody, and I was quite intoxicated. And so I thought in my mind that I was being normal. I was like, oh, hi, how's your day going? Oh my God, that's so great. Meanwhile, I'm slurring out of my mind, and the guy I'm talking to is like, dude, this guy's smashed. And I was like, oh no, I thought I had it. I don't know. I thought that was really funny, and I sobered up right after because I was like, "Oh, Jesus, maybe I am." I don't condone that, and I don't do it anymore.
It has to be the time when we went to the beach. It literally happened a few days ago where we saw a double rainbow, and we just kind of like I enjoyed the drives together, and we would just like vibe into music, our playlist. Today I was all like, I want to drive again with you. it was a lot of fun.
Mine, I feel like it's gonna sound a little more simple. I think about that too, but I think more on the first time we met each other. Your awkward walk out into arms crossed, like a mom coming out to like greet their kid. A little awkward, a little excited.
Oh, me when I was coming out of my house, like,
looking like someone's mom, arms crossed. I'm there after a 15-hour drive, and then
I was trying to be mad at him, and it was the first time we met in real life. I was trying to be mad at him, but then I saw him in real life, and I was all like, "My baby, man, my baby." And then he commented on how I smell good and whatnot. He was all like, "I can smell you from all the way over here. You smell good as."
smell like vanilla or like I think it's the Choco Musk. I think that's what you put on. He took like 2 of my shirts.
I robbed
I'm
him.
down like 2
I
shirts.
robbed him. He got robbed. I promise you that.
He took my clothes.
I gave him one.
Yeah, he gave me stuff. He took my stuff. I did give him some stuff, but he also just stole. So.
What was the biggest risk you have taken, and what happened?
Stopping my job to make 3D models, and it's going well.
Moving the entire country for a chance of getting a fresh start. And I got my fresh start and I started a successful business.
Oh. It was probably coming out to my parents so young. Came out to them when I was like 13. And it all worked out very well and they are very supportive.
The biggest risk I'd taken? I'd say I was asking this one out. I was afraid. We were both nervous young adults. I took the risk, and we're here today.
Oh, this might sound cheesy, but it's gotta be being myself, because I used to try and pretend to be who I thought I wanted to be, but when I started being just myself without as many restrictions, it made me a lot happier, and it felt a lot more fun.
Not much of a risk taker, but I suppose driving. I mean, like, yeah, it's pretty common, but I did almost trade paint with the side of a semi truck the other day, so there's that.
The biggest risk I've taken was probably when I decided to try and convince my dad to let my girlfriend come live with me because she was at a really bad spot, and he didn't know at the time that I was gay. And I kept that a secret from him for a while because I was afraid he'd not react well or not want to help me get her.
Last year I was trying to meet someone in Russia alone because I know nothing about Russian, so I had to plan for 2 months the tickets, the hotel and everything. But when I get there, the biggest risk is I can't read the map. They're all Russians. So yeah, that's the biggest risk so far.
The biggest risk I have taken in my life, it's being going to a different route in my life. Since I went to multiple occasions, one of them is going along, for example, in a Furcon or something. It's kind of like a risk. The first time going there alone, it's kind of like a risk, but it turned out to be nice because I met new people, talking with new people, and that was, instead of becoming a risk, it's becoming a nice thing to be attending.
Yeah, not to be sitting on advertising, we dropped an asset this weekend, exclusively made for this event. I'd say that was a pretty decent risk because we spent probably 2 months working on it, and it turned into crunch time even coming up to the event, and I didn't know if it was gonna be worth it or not. Do you want me to show you the thing we worked on? Here, hold up, I do have to change avatars though. We made a schedule asset for the weekend. It contains the entirety of the schedule for Furality Somna. It was a very, very long project. Everything was completely custom and made from scratch, from the textures and every individual little part.
Usually my biggest risk I always bring up is
There was this one time where I was in the military, so yeah. And whenever I was in the military, one of my biggest risks was trying to, I guess you can say, help out a certain friend of mine, because one of the situations that they were going through was a really tough situation, and sadly they're not here anymore. But whenever they were here, it was a really important situation for them. And I guess you can kind of say they were going through a whole lot of stuff emotionally. And personally, I don't think I was the correct person to be there for them, but I'm glad that I was at least able to, at that time, help them where they needed it.
Actually, for me, what I consider is actually a pretty decent risk was I actually got to join I was invited to join the VRChat marketplace pretty early on, like with the early adopter sort of thing. And I was a bit nervous about it because none of my models are quest oriented, so I took the leap to make a individual quest avatar for the marketplace to try and just try something new, try to reach a new market. And the reception for it actually has been pretty nice, and I'm really grateful for it. It's still a bit early stage, but trying out a new market was a pretty big risk for me, and I'm glad that I did. And right now it's paying out, and I hope it continues to pay out. I hope people enjoy what I make.
The biggest risk I took was when I was like 19. I decided to travel across the country alone, driving, and it was the first time I drove on the interstate. Very dumb idea. And so I essentially drove a bunch of this one, basically I rode Route 66, went through a bunch of different things. It was scary. I did it because I wanted to move to California. Did not end up moving to California. It was intense, but it was fun. I got to see a lot of interesting things, but essentially I ended up finding out that I couldn't get a home in California, so I had to go all the way back to my home. So it was a failed endeavor, but it was fun. Still enjoyed it. Very risky. Did not know how to drive very well, and that showed.
I think when I doing my first application for Furality, exactly for Luma example, because I was not sure myself if I'm able to do conventions and stuff, because I was still a newbie DJ. So when I saw one of the staff for Furality, for the DJ, the director DJs and stuff, and I show my DJ set to see what you're thinking, and they all say go apply to Furality right now. Because I was not sure, I was so nervous, saying I will not pass, because I'm still a newbie. But they all say go apply. I think you have a good chance to be in, and I think that was my big decision. And look what I am today now. So.
All right. Took a risk going to a video game creation college. Did not work out. Definitely was a very exploitative place. Oh, was it Full Sail? No, DigiPen. DigiPen Technical Institute. I would love to talk about, but we won't go deep into that. But yeah, no, took a risk there and didn't work out. But still love games and engines and all that cool stuff. I get kind of too into it sometimes, but it's fun. Love this kind of stuff. What about you?
Yeah. It's hard because I don't really take that many risks, right? I'm very cozy, right?
Well, let me. I could be a dork.
Yeah.
Well, let me fly over after a long distance.
Oh, that was a big risk. Oh, that came from a very touchy situation because of the college situation. He was kind of just feeling kind of lost, and I wanted to let him come to a place where he didn't feel pressured from his mamacita at the time. And so he drove 13 hours all the way to my house overnight, packed his entire car travel as much as he could.
16 hours, actually.
Shit.
16, 18.
Yeah, I keep forgetting how long that was, but I was on the phone call that entire time. I even timed it on like Google Maps, like how far he would go after a certain point, and I could tell where he was. And there was this bit where he got through a snowstorm, and like the phone would cut out, and I was freaking the fuck out at that point in time. But I was mentally like staring until I got another phone call. I was like, okay, I got you. I know exactly where you at. But yeah, after that, he's been with me ever since then.
And that was 12 years ago.
12 years ago. And I met him originally on my first ever art stream on like Picardo back in the day.
Actually, livestream.com.
You're right, it was. You're right though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, my first ever
I'm giving away
free
my
art
age.
stream. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, and then we've just been together ever since, and yeah.
What motivates you to keep pushing and living life?
My friends, they make me for who I am, and they always will be there for me.
Making art, hanging out with friends, meeting people. I really like to socialize and share and see what other people make.
I would definitely say my really good friends that I would consider family, as well as my beautiful girlfriend and my children.
Well, that's a deep question, but if I had to say, the validation that my friends give me enough positive energy to keep going. As long as I know that my friends are happy, and I make them happy, that's really all I need.
What motivates and keeps pushing through life is that there's always something to strive for. I want a better life, and I also want to succeed in life.
Honestly, it can definitely be difficult at times, but it really is just the people I meet, the ones I'm really close to, all the people who have like been there and I've been there for them. I don't know, just friends, you know?
Oh,
Jesus.
See,
White
Claws. I promise I'm getting drunk another day.
That's how
My friends, we joke, but what motivates keeping pushing through life? Most likely just meeting friends and meeting friends as I meet through Furality, and mostly spending my time streaming on Twitch, because that's what motivates me, just like to push my goals through life to become who I want to become.
I would probably have to say just to see what comes next, you know? The one thing that's keeping me going to live a long life is I just want to see what happens next. I want to be there when we start building on the moon, when we send our first ships to Mars, when we start having to use less needles and medical care, things like that. I just want to see what happens next.
Ambition. I just want to do things and like achieve. I don't really know. I haven't really put it into words with myself before, but I want to accomplish things for career, family, relationships. I want to just experience a life that I'm happy with, that sort of thing.
I'd say it's like the art that I have yet to create, because I am trying like lots of new things with like my digital art, be it through like texturing, which I textured this avatar, and my painted pieces that I do. I have a lot of stories that I want to tell through my art, and I have a full lifetime to like create those stories, and I'm very excited to see who comes along for the ride to see like what I have to make.
I went through a really tough time in my like early to mid-teen years, and I was absolutely sure that my life was basically over before it could even begin. And now I'm in a much better place than I thought I could ever be. So, I mean, at this point, if things ever get bad that way again, I think I can have faith that it'll get better, even if it doesn't feel like it.
I guess it's the friends I've met
it has been my found family here. So many people have helped me so much through this that I honestly they keep me going. My friends and my family have kept me going from the start. I wouldn't be here without them. I wouldn't be doing what I do without their support.
I kind of surround myself with, I have my favorite music and my favorite games and my favorite shows, and I just kind of surround myself with that constantly. And the idea of these things being so good, the best games, best shows, my favorites, it inspires me to live, to try to be someone who is capable of making something that good. My favorite things are so good, so I'm trying to somehow make something as good as my favorite things. And yeah.
Definitely at the very top would be my faith. My faith in God, my faith as a Catholic has been very much helping me through all of the low and the highs. And my family's been very supportive of me. They've been very supportive of my struggles and my disabilities and whatnot, and the fact that I'm still 21 and unemployed due to high anxiety. So with the supportive family, supportive friends, obviously, and my faith, I've been continuing to push on in life, and luckily I haven't hit any type of rock bottom yet, and hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon.
Honestly, I love Taoism. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I'm a person of science. I'm currently doing a bachelor's in biochemistry, and just the way I see the world, really, I relate my understanding of science to Taoist principles. So that kind of motivates me and my own little selfish goals that I have to, have a duty or responsibility to help the world and just make this world a little bit better and safer and happier for everyone, because everyone deserves to live a good life. So, in fact, it's everyone in this world that gives me the motivation and strength to always keep going.
What motivates me to keep pushing through life is that I want to help people. It's since I started my journey. I'm also a content creator. I'm a VTuber, and I'm a superhero VTuber. And I wanted, since I started computer science college and such, I wanted to make things that would help the world. So I learned to be a better person, to get in shape, to wake up every day, to training, to run, to have a quality life, so I can give quality advices and make people happier. What moves me make people happier?
To see myself be the best version I can. There's a little 8-year-old boy inside of me, or 13-year-old self, that is always kind of thriving to think of what would be the future self of me, and to become that is what I feel like I'm trying to fulfill. And it's always a work in progress. It's a journey, of course, and perfection is impossible, but I think just being able to achieve those goals and live life as much as I can with the people I care about and love, I think that's what makes me wake up every day. And just, if I could affect people in a positive way, that's enough for me.
What is a moment or experience that changed your perspective on something?
So a moment that changed my experience about something will be just the sheer fact of the VR community, just being able to see and meet so many people from around the world.
Probably just the perspective of my own work. I've seen a lot of people sort of appreciate my work in a way that I don't appreciate. It's like that sort of self-confidence is starting to get boosted, seeing people actually vibe with the stuff that I make.
Having to get stitches when I was younger, I always made jokes about my brother being the one to get a bunch of attention. And so I had to get stitches one day, and then I realized
that it's not fun to want to get the attention because it ended up me getting hurt. So I stopped doing that for a long time and I never did it again.
I would say something I thought about differently after experiencing something. Is that what you're asking? So I think being out in the middle of the ocean, I always thought it would be more peaceful. Honestly, though, it's actually kind of concerning because there's no lights out there, no nothing. And it's just kind of a void. But it can be peaceful, but you just... I have a dead... Like, I don't like sharks that much. So, I just started thinking about what's under there, and it's not great.
Changed my perspective. You know, I once thought VR chat looked overrated and overhyped, but once I hopped in, I realized it was pretty immersive, and you know, when you can move like this, it feels as close to real as anything real does feel. So I think once I got into VRC, that was a pretty good experience that kind of changed my outlook.
VRChat changed me as a person a lot. A lot more. It was a moment where I realized that no one really gives any, no one really cares. So after that, I kind of realized it's more of how I express myself. It was a big change. I don't know. I used to be a lot more introverted than I am now.
I'm kind of with them on that, even though I'm still more quiet or overall muted when it comes to new people. So it kind of helped me express who I am in a way.
Well, that kind of depends on if we want to go super emotional and I'm trauma dumping, or if I just want to give you a basic answer. Okay. Honestly, I guess something that changed my perspective, it made me really appreciate meeting generous and nice people. Is just just family things with me, because I lost my parents pretty early, and I really don't have a lot of family. And when I met a lot of people, you know, I always expect people to kind of be trolls a little bit. And when they turn out to just be nice, generous, and kind, it honestly is a little shocking. But it always surprised me, and I love being surprised by it every day.
I've never really liked VR chat. I thought it was pretty cringe at the beginning. But then I joined the Ancients of VR Chat, which was this group that made age-gated instances and stuff that allowed you to know people who are genuinely nice people. And then that totally killed the need for me to go into public worlds where most of the cringe actually was. But then I started to experience very amazing worlds that I've never seen in my entire life, and it was just this eye-opening experience, as in this could be actually something that I could do, and never get bored of. It's really nice, really relaxing. And then I bought a VR headset, and the rest was history. I regret nothing of it.
Probably the first furry convention I went to be honest, which was NFC. You were there recently. It's weird to see the people behind the costumes that you you look at all these people online and you see them for years and years, and then hang on, it's just a normal ass person. It's just it's weird to see. Changed my perspective on it a little bit.
I'd have to agree and say NFC. I think that when you're growing up, it's really easy to get into this mindset of especially if you're a bit of a weird kid, to get into this mindset of you're oh, people are terrible, and I'm misanthropic and stuff like that. And then you find your crowd, and you're oh, actually, I adore people. And then NFC was kind of that for me. It was learning that actually I'm not as much of an introvert as I thought I was, and I actually really like people.
Yeah, it's got to find your crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, a deep question. So, in general, I said that I do a bunch of everything. I used to be one of those people who is I hate it when artists charge this much. It should be cheaper. Cause I used to be such a hater of fursuit makers, and then I made my first fursuit head, and I was wow, they really do not be playing with those prices. it made me appreciate like people who make fursuit stuff and like they make textile stuff. I appreciate them a lot more. I respect them a lot more, and it shouldn't have taken me until doing that to relate to them. So not only did that experience made me respect textile workers, it made me respect people of different disciplines a little bit deeper, you know? Because like I have no way of knowing what they go through in order to make the things they do.
Oh, that is a tough one. Might actually have to think about that. I feel so on the spot. Yeah, the first one's like, oh, you know, I thought the Avatar was cool. I like smoking weed, and then I'm just like, oh, epiphany. Honestly, if anything changed my perspective, it would be this event. I never used VR chat, never really played on it that often, even though a lot of my friends did. And Furality became a peak of interest where I was like, you know, it seems okay. And then my friend kind of drugged me along. And then I got to experience it. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's nothing. It's just like a VR convention. It can't be that cool. I've come to find out it is the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. I've met so many friends. I've been having the time of my life. And it's just overall been such a good experience. Never thought I would ever be able to enjoy it as much as I do now than I would then.
A moment or experience that changed my perspective. That's deep. I have so many. Oh god, I have so many. Me and my friends used to do this thing where we'd go into a defunct building and find a place where there were no windows, no way light can get in, and we would sit in a circle in the dark and we would hum. We just started doing that because we were high one day. Figured it'd be fun to do. But the more people that we got involved, the more things would just melt away. You would be in a black sea of no sensory input besides harmony, and things would waver, things would be dissonant, but when everybody would harmonize and it would lock in, your sense of spatial awareness just vanishes. You just become one with like the cacophony, and I love that. And what it taught me, and the way that it changed my perspective, is it made me realize that pretty much anything, when you take out all of the stuff that you input, honestly, our experience at the root of it is just trying to find our right note in the harmony, if that makes sense. And so I kind of think of everything as the harmonic series, and I kind of see everything is music, and everything is about harmony and dissonance and tension and resolve and so on and so forth, and it's kind of become a backbone of my philosophy.
It definitely, I think the thing definitely forefront is furry. I kind of want to correlate or like intertwine my relation with furry even with like VR chat a little bit, maybe. I used to be such like a furry hater, even though I had like a animal character. And it wasn't until I like watched like YouTube videos on people going to conventions, getting to express themselves so freely and so carefree of societal oppression and demands to be one way or another, that I finally was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. And then I went to a furry convention and that changed everything. And it wouldn't be the person that I am today if it wasn't for furry conventions or furry in general. And the fact that furry has now become so intertwined, especially in the virtual scape with like VR chat and whatnot. My whole livelihood is kind of oriented around this space specifically, especially. I do a lot of work in here. I'm one of the illustrators in Furality. I sell avatars, I do all sorts of stuff and wear different hats, but it all always orients around furry and being able to express yourself, because that is the most freeing thing that we get to have, and it's such an incredible privilege that I wouldn't trade it for anything. So it's brought me so many opportunities and connections and wonderful people into my life that I really couldn't have imagined back in the day when I was initially hating on furry. I'm glad that just furries being themselves kind of changed my mind in such a dramatic way that has freed me, and I hope that I can push that forward, and anybody who has any disdain or dislike towards furries can see the beauty in it and maybe even becomes a furry themselves. So, yeah.
So it happened quite a few years ago. I was in a really dark place about 3 years ago. I wasn't fully aware that I was a furry. I had no idea. To be honest, I didn't have much of a reason to keep going. I had given up on everything in my life. One of my brothers brought me into VR chat. And they said, "Hey, why don't you come hang out with me tonight?" And I said, "Okay." So I went to hang out with him in VR chat. We were in Cozy Apartment, and I hung out with him all night long. Him and 5 other friends, and they sat there and they talked me through my issues, really. And I didn't really say anything because I'm not that type of person. I don't really give off my issues. But I talked to them for a few hours, and we all sat there. And I saw these avatars around me, everybody moving and doing these things, and I was like, "What?" I figured it out. I figured out that I was a furry, and it just kind of exploded from there. So I went from there. I brought my DJ career into VR chat. I brought my love for designing worlds and building worlds into VR chat. Now I own over 30 clubs. I build them for friends and people who ask me to, and I just kind of hang out with everybody and just have a good time, really. And whatever time I have, because I am very busy outside of VR. But honestly, and there's nothing short of me saying this, but this game and all the people in it and getting to hang out with those people and have those connections is what saved my life.
That was really something, huh? I want to take a moment to be a little more candid, I suppose, seeing that that's the style that I prefer. This was my first Furality event that I've ever gone to, and holy crap, like, it set the bar so high that, like, afterwards, I had to take a break from VR chat because, like, nothing just felt on par. The events were great. The way that everything was run logistically was so professional and just a breath of fresh air on this platform, in my opinion. And I couldn't get that experience anywhere else. I mean, I still miss it. This year has been kind of not great for me due to many reasons outside of VR and this podcast. And Furality did something to me. Like, it fucking healed me. I was like, inside me felt bright and cheery for like days on end afterwards and during the event. I felt like I was pulled out of this dark pit that I've been in for the beginning of the year up to June. I have made so many friends and connections during Furality that I can now rely on, that I'm not back in that pit. And it motivated me to work on this project. This video is by far the most effort I've put into something I've created for several years. And I am just proud of myself for accomplishing that. And I'm happy that I attended Furality. I am definitely gonna go every time I can now. I have a few special thanks that I'd like to give out. So, for one, the Furality team, thank you so much for doing an amazing job with this event. I'm at a loss for words. You guys did a great job. And I want to thank JPG, who, if you saw those graphics for each question screen, he's the one that did the art for those, and he's also the one that did the thumbnail and the intro to my podcast series. I really would not have the same quality of work on this video or my podcast without his help, and I'm very, very grateful that he was able to pull off such a thing in a relatively short time span. It is amazing, and I please beg you all to please check out his socials. I'm going to put it right there. Alright. Another special thanks I'd like to give is my good friend Andon from my college. He and I went to college. We played for the same few music ensembles for a few years now together, and he has graciously allowed me to use one of his tracks called She Dreams in Blue for the outro for this video. So if you can please check his stuff out, I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure he would too. Thank you so much, Andon. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Furality team, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Have a good night.